Hi, I'm Denise Merritt, CEO and founder of Merritt Business Solutions. Thanks so much for joining Merritt and Friends today. We hope you find the topic helpful, and if you don't mind, stay after and we'll share how Merritt Business Solutions may help your business. Thanks and enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Merritt and Friends. My name is Mandy Waters with Merritt Business Solutions. Today, I'm here with Brian Minard, who heads up our benefits team at MBS. Brian has been consulting with small businesses for the past 25 years, up and down the East Coast. He made the shift to benefits about 10 years ago and loves the challenge of helping business owners take care of their most valuable asset, their employees. I know he's not a doctor, but I hear he played one on TV. It is my honor to introduce Brian Minard. Welcome to Merritt and Friends.
Oh, thanks, Mandy. I appreciate that. Yes, I had the high distinction of in a former life being an actor, and so I did that a little bit. It was a lot of fun. And now I play the real parts.
Well, fair enough. I think that this is such a important topic to understand. So we're here to talk about a benefit administration and benefit broker and what's missing with the customer service.
Yeah. I'll just kind of dive right in. I think from our earlier conversation, we just kind of want to communicate why it's important to have the right type of benefits administration. Not every broker is the same, what sets us apart, and why that's important. So a good question for that is what's missing from your current customer service team. So let's talk a little bit about the role of a benefits broker in general. We're going to be acting as the liaison between the company and the insurance providers, of course, all the normal things that you already know about. Basically helping that business navigate the very confusing world of insurance and benefits and all the complex issues that are there. And there are a lot. It's one of the reasons why I got into this business, because it helps us, be able to make sure an employer is able to take care of their employees and still actually work on their business. So we help design those plans, negotiate where we can with the carriers. So a lot of times it's not even negotiating as much as it is putting together the right strategy. For a lot of the benefits, the price is the price, but lately that's been changing a bit. So we have some strategies that allow us to dive into the world of level funding, self-funding, prescription drug carve-outs, a lot of different things like that to help get a better price, a better rate, and better coverage for the employees. So all of that is what normal brokers do. We do it very well. But where we now then start to separate ourselves is what happens next. Mm-hmm. A lot of brokers do all that, and then they disappear, and you don't see them again until the next year when they give you their renewal. What we want to be doing is using our highly qualified team of counselors and service agents and your benefits team, that's what we call it, to make sure we're taking care of those employees throughout the year in a lot of different ways. Here are some of those key services, again, just to touch on briefly, qualities that you'd want to look in for a benefit broker. Plan design, as I said, we have a lot of strategies that help us get to a place to be able to mitigate those cost increases every year. Mm-hmm. And we know everybody gets a year older. So prices almost always go up. They rarely go down. And especially in the climate we're living in these days, that's happening a lot as well. Mm-hmm. But what we do is look at ways to mitigate those increases. Carrier negotiation, claims resolution, compliance assistance, employee education, all very important parts of the process.
Well, in those services, I think that are pretty typical with business with benefits brokers anyway. What are some of the differences that of the qualities that people should be looking for when looking for a new benefits broker?
Well, really in line with how your employees are cared for throughout the year. all brokers are going to utilize the mechanisms and technology they need to because technology is a big part of what we do these days.
Mhm.
And so it's not as big of a thing anymore for someone to say, hey, we're high tech. So kind of going off script here for a second, I think one of the things I love to do when I'm explaining this is to say we are very much high tech and high touch. We've got to have the technology there because we've got, as you'll see a little bit later in some of these slides, we want to be able to make sure you have accuracy with your enrollments. We want to be able to service those employees correctly. So not only in their benefits administration portal, but in the customer relation management system, we want to be able to track those specific employees with the things that are going on with them later in life or later the next year. So it won't be uncommon for you to talk to one of our counselors, and that counselor, say, "Hey, Mandy, I see you guys moved last year. How are things going?" And that's because we've got notes. We're tracking our relationship and our engagement with the employees so we can better serve them. And then another part of that is to be educators and not salespeople. So many of our counselors are former nurses. One of our just wonderful counselors, she's a former oncology nurse. So she brings a special touch to those sessions when she's talking to an employee who perhaps has gone through something or is going through something currently. They get denied for a prescription drug, or they have something coming up, and we can gently remind them, hey, let's make sure you're in network where you're going with your provider. We just had this happen yesterday where we were counseling with someone and they're getting some dental work done, and we did checked for them just to make sure that they were going in network, and in fact they weren't going in network. So we helped them avoid another situation that way as well. We want to be there at time of claim and when something happens. It's the first thing we say when we engage with the employees. The first thing we say it in the middle, and we say it when we're about to leave. Here is how you contact us. Here's how you connect with your team. Please contact us when something happens, or when you're planning something, or if you just have questions. I often like to say our people are professionally trained to wait on hold with carriers. So we're really good at it. Let us do it, not you. Anyway.
Hey, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I've in past lives, I only had an 800 number to call if I had questions, and then it's normally 40 minutes on hold to talk to someone who's just looking at my case. So that's
a good way to put it also is if you have a current benefits broker who put your plans in, you love them, everything is wonderful, but what seems to happen is your benefits broker is there for the enrollment, but after that, really they're only there to shift your call or your employee's call off to the carrier's 800 number.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the situation you're in, take a look at what we do, because we are a true benefits team that is down the hall from you virtually. And you're going to be able to turn a lot of that over to us, even as an HR professional or an HR director, or the business owner, so that you're not wearing that hat in the midst of trying to grow your business.
Now, I'll tell you, there are HR directors that they had a designated benefits broker when they stepped into the role. And it's been the same one every year, and they think that they need to change. If they change benefit brokers, then they need to change their benefits. Why would be some reasons to change your benefits broker, and can you?
Yes, it's simply easy to change your broker. Your broker, if they're not. There could be a multitude of reasons. The one that you don't realize sometimes, because you could have great plans. You're sitting pretty with a fantastic carrier that everyone seems to like, and they like the way it's going. But behind the scenes, you're still answering the questions when your employees come up and start asking about their benefits. You have a new hire, and you end up taking a benefits booklet and explaining it to your employees. They're coming to you with other things when they do have something happen, an accident or something like that, with questions. And instead, if you have a current broker that, as I said before, just simply says, yeah, that's a great question. Here's the 800 number for United Healthcare. They should be able to help you with that. Then you may want to consider, what would it be like if I had a broker that was more than just the person that brought in the plans, but they were a partner who acted as our benefits department and truly took care of our employees from start to finish, making sure that those employees took advantage of every piece of benefit they had on the table. We see it all the time. They leave benefits on the table and they don't get everything that they've been paying for. So that's another reason. So those are some of the reasons. And of course, if you've never shopped, I mean, we also have a really great strategy, a great record of being able to bring in new strategies and save folks money as well. So anyway, so those are some of the qualities. Let me go to the next. We'll kind of move along here. Oh, that's why change benefits broker. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I just go forward. So these are some of the reasons: improved employee experience, as I said, compliance issues, cost management, access to innovative benefit solutions. Those are just kind of encapsulating what we were just discussing. So there's a lot of good reasons to take a look at that. The not the scary thing, but the interesting thing is sometimes you don't realize what you're not getting, especially if you're a healthy group and nothing ever happens. Let me also say, as far as the strategy portion, there are a lot of companies are now a little bit more familiar with level funded or self-funded plans. A lot of times those plans can blow up a little bit if somebody has a really strict or really specific prescription drug issue, high cost prescription drugs. They do great things, but some of them have very large costs associated with them, and they will take you out of that level funded or self-funded capability. We have strategies that help with that as well, so that during the year, when something happens, we can help those employees in that process to get to the prescription drug they need. Or let's say they get denied. We always tell the employees as well, don't take a no for a no. Let us make sure it's a no. And then if it is a no, let us assist you to try to get some benefits in a different way to perhaps help with that prescription drug that's high cost for you. So there's just multitudes of ways. The simple answer is, let us be the ones to find them for you, instead of you having to do it.
Now that is truly a white service employee administration right there. I mean, there are so many people that just think that this is the way it is and this is the way it has to be, and so
Yep.
that is quite impressive. Now, I know that you had talked about the importance of technology, and I know that MBS has some really cool things when it comes to a handheld in your phone for employees. But what's the importance of technology?
Well, first of all, everybody better be doing it, because it's being used everywhere, as we know. Even AI is taking an important step in that as well. The biggest reason is because, from my perspective, is compliance, making sure you as an employer have records that you did offer these benefits to everyone that was eligible, making sure you're keeping compliant with the issues that come up through the ACA and other. There are so many things to navigate in that world. So it's important to have technology to assist you with that. And there are also HR answers on the other side of that too. It's a very complex issue, but you're at least starting on the right foot if you've got a robust benefits administration system and a team that can administer that for you instead of you having to do it. We kind of meet you where your needs are when it comes to that. So it's going to not only help with your compliance, make sure that things are being done properly, make the process smoother, but it's also going to create situations for those people who are a little bit like a tech geek, like I used to be, because there is an inverse relationship between technology and age. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. But it does provide those employees who are more tech savvy the ability to kind of go through and do some of that themselves, but still have access to the high touch when they need it. So those are some of the most important reasons for that. Oh, and we got to my picture. We don't need that.
Well,
yeah,
Brian, so I know that we're coming up close to enrollment for this year. Do I need do business owners need to wait until enrollment to change business brokers?
No. It's best if you're looking at a change and you want to entertain this, whether it's us or someone else. I am a little biased. I think we're a fantastic resource for companies. If you think you may be missing something, give us a call. Let's have a quick conversation. We'll talk about it. The reason it's important to do it now is because as the broker, we'll have more control over that process over the next 90 days to your 1/1 effective date to make sure it rolls out correctly. And it gives us more control over the process and the ability to administer those benefits as you're going into that enrollment, rather than coming out of it and then having that enrollment done and then looking for something that is the right solution. My recommendation would be at least to look around. Now's the time to do it because fourth quarter is here. New rates are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to be on the mad dash for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and open enrollment. Not in that order.
Fun time for you.
Not in that order. So.
Is there any last remarks or words of wisdom that you'd like to put out there, or a story, a success story that would kind of really show what changing your benefits broker to white glove benefits administration actually can do?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that matter the most to us. I mean, I have countless stories of, hey, we came in, we saved a company X amount of dollars, changed their strategy, got them great benefits, or they were having difficulty with the administration, all those sorts of things. There's lots of those stories, but let me just leave you with one of many stories like this, where an employee didn't know what they had in their benefits. And they had suffered a minor stroke, and they were out. And we happened to be at the facility talking to the HR director, and she mentioned that this particular employee was not there. And we immediately, while we were sitting there, looked up their benefits and saw that they had a critical illness policy that had a $20,000 payout coming to them for that stroke. And they had no idea. They just had not looked at it, hadn't taken the time to look at it. Nobody had told them. They just went about their normal process of going to the doctor, getting things treated, and moving on. So that feels good. When we're able to make sure an employee gets what they had coming to them in the benefits that their hard work is paid for. That's a good time. That's a good deal.
Well, especially when chances are, if you didn't have anyone fully explain to you what you were getting, you probably forgot a month after signing that piece of paper.
People forget the moment they walk out. I remember when I was 22 years old in my first job and listened to a boring guy like me explain all those benefits and just went, okay, yeah, great, awesome. Turned around, walked out with a big folder full of materials, put it on my desk, and went to lunch and never thought about it again. Because you don't think about it until something happens. Exactly. And that's why we're there, so that you don't have to panic, so that when it does happen, you just pick up the phone or you contact us, and the team is there to help walk that through for you.
That is awesome. Well, Brian, I can't thank you enough for coming on and explaining this to us. Please definitely reach out to me or to Brian if you have any additional questions. Thank you so much for joining Merritt and Friends, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you.